Well, hello there, and welcome back again with the VITA show. Like I said, a fabulous show today. I would like to go right into the interview with Dr. C.E. Mac Gruder. First, I want to welcome you, Dr. Mac Gruder, to the show. And would you please tell our viewing audience something about you, who you are, and all that good stuff?
Well, I'm a retired physician. I've been living in Nashville since 1948. I came here in 1948 to go to medical school, and I graduated in 1952 from Meharry.
Now, where'd you come from? You say you came to Nashville.
Well, I was born and raised in Alabama.
Okay.
And then I got drafted in the Second World War, and when I came out, I went to school in Cincinnati a couple of years before I came to Meharry.
Okay. So you are actually, now the type of doctor you are is an OBGYN doctor.
That's right.
Is that correct,
Yes.
Dr. Mac Gruder? Now, how did you happen to pick that particular profession?
I don't know.
You
I really
don't know?
I really don't. It's strange. It's one of the things that I learned is that you have no idea what you're going to do. Because when I was, after I finished my medical education, the basics, that is, I had the MD degree, I was doing my internship. And I hated surgery. I mean, I hated surgery with a passion.
Really?
So that if I could figure out any way to not go in the operating room, I would. And anybody that told me in July 15th or so, during my first year out of medical school, that I would be a surgical person, I would have said, no, you're wrong.
Well, how did that happen? That's what I was
Well, I never understood it. That was just what I was supposed to do, because I ended up considering 2 or 3 other specialists, and I ended up going to OBGYN. That's what happened.
Wow. I know that when we have talked from time to time, and you've just really actually had a interesting journey to getting to this point of being, you were at Meharry how many years? And I think you taught a lot of doctors that have come out of there.
Yeah, well, my journey has been interesting, but one of the things about it I can say is that it's not that unusual. Most people my age grew up with essentially nothing to start out with. And so the reason they are where they are is because of God's blessings.
Yes.
And their determination and hard work. So it's nothing unusual about it. It's happened to be in the right place to get involved in a lot of things.
Well, I guess, Dr. Mac Gruder, what I'm looking at, the unusuality of it, the time frame, 1950 something, you're also an African American, you're a black man.
Yeah, I'm definitely black.
And back in those times, it was very difficult, if not almost near impossible, for a black man to aspire to the level that you aspired to, with a profession that you got. I guess that's what I'm trying to.
Well, I don't know. Some of the things that I continue to do in my life, I started when I was very young, but I remember very well from the time I was 15 years old, I had in mind I was going to be a physician. That was all I ever wanted to be.
Really?
And I don't know why. That's just the way.
Are there physicians in your background? Your daddy? Your uncle? Aunt?
No. At that time, I was living on the farm, and we had a had a 1-mule farm.
Okay.
And there were, I laugh about that all the time now, but it was interesting. There were 7 children in the family, so I was the oldest of 7. And I can say, honestly, nothing fat was on the place. Everybody was lean.
I can imagine. Lean, mean working machine, wasn't you?
That's right. But anyway, so I was the oldest of 7 children, so I wanted to be a physician. And I didn't have any idea how I was going to do that. I just was going to be a physician. And it's interesting to see how it came about, because when I finished high school and went away to college, I didn't have any money. And in those days, you could work your way through college at some schools because they didn't have janitors and people, maids.
Right.
What they did, the students did that kind of work. So you could get do that type of work to get you through college. So
wow.
At the end of
so you worked your way through college?
No, I only worked my way through the first year. See, and by that time Uncle Sam had gotten me, put me in the army in the Second World War. So I spent 2.5 years, almost 3 years in there. When I got out, I went back to school on the GI Bill. And it's just a whole lot of things that happened. Really, some of the things that I learned is that you just got to be constantly working at it. And you might make it.
But
see?
That's just, I mean, but when we used to talking, it was just fascinating how you came from one point and then reached this point. I know a lot of had to do with your upbringing and also your ideology on how that you made sure that you got your education.
Yes.
That you took care of yourself.
Well, what I have to attribute that to is my family background. Now, I didn't know how blessed I was until after I had gotten older. I mean, a lot older, and I began to read and listen and observe things. And I realized that I was in a big family.
Yes, you were.
But we didn't have any money. But what we had